thing that is that most commonly doesn't go right in parenting is communicating with your child, and feeling like, they have some behavior that you are trying to control or shift or deal with, and they aren't responding. And as I started digging into like my value work in my own parenting, when I was very clear about what were the values I wanted to instill in my children, and you and I talked about, like, I can't control if my children develop those values, but what are the values I want to role model with the intention of, them seeing what's important to me and living in alignment with myself and my values. I could start to see how the behaviors that triggered me, or that I was trying to that I was trying to control, were actually exactly what I wanted my children to become, right? Like, they're like, for example, the classic example is like independent, right? Like, I want my children to be independent thinkers as adults and to be critical thinkers. But if I ask them what they want for dinner, or if I ask them to clean their room, like, do it now, right? Like, I don't want them to like actually sit and think about, like, when am I going to do that chore that mom just asked me to do, right? Like, and so they're like, I want them to be, and I wanted them to be yes men. I have 2 boys, so I'm going to use those pronouns. I wanted them to be yes men and to do what I wanted them to do, but yet that's not teaching them to make independent decisions.
You want them to be that way, but only to you.
But only to me, and only when they're children. And then when they turn 18, and like go out into their own, like, they have to be independent. And so when I was able to see that, it was much easier to then recognize that I was fighting a battle that I actually didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
And I was expending energy and getting frustrated for something that was actually, because I was actually out of alignment, and on a soul level, or on like, some subconscious level, I knew I was out of alignment, and my kids were, picking up on that. So it allowed me to also shift what I needed to do, and who I needed to be, so that I could actually be living by the values I wanted to instill with them.